So Monica Lamb is my name, and our company is Houston Plumbing and Gas. We are a residential and commercial plumbing company. We also do underground utilities and backflows. So we are a full service plumbing and gas company. In my old life, I was very much a basketball player. So I'm from Houston. I'm a native Houstonian. I went to Blackshear, Ryan, and Yates. And so started my college career even at the University of Houston. I transferred and graduated from the University of Southern California. Played basketball, professional basketball for about 16 years. So I was in Europe about 14 years and came back and played on 3 of the championship teams with the Houston Comets back in the day, and played on some national teams, 3 national teams. So I've spent most of my life after college in sports. And so married, had a couple of kids, divorced, married again, gained another 2 kids. So I've been very, very busy with mom and sports for a very big chunk of my life. I am the principal owner with Houston Plumbing and Gas now, and a licensed plumber. But I married my husband, who's a master plumber in 4 states. And so I married him, and after I left basketball, I did community work with the Monica Lamb Wellness Foundation. We did lots of community work. We promoted health and wellness. My degree is in health education. And so I know there's a long bridge, that gap between health education and plumbing, but we did health education, we did health fairs, and we worked with different organizations and entities promoting health and wellness. And so I'd always help my husband some. I always say his fault is that he loves plumbing. And because he does, it wasn't easy to help him. And so we would, he loved the trade of plumbing, but that whole back office just wore him out. And so I'd see him struggling and I'd help, and I'd step in and help, and things would go lovely for a while, and then not until they didn't. And I'd go, you know what? I'm going back to my wellness foundation. You take off with your plumbing, and good luck. We'll meet in the middle. And so we did that. We had our cycles of doing that up and down. And so eventually we decided to fully partner with plumbing. And so it only made sense to me in that we were still able to do what was always critically important to me, and that's help. And so we'd be able to help individuals, we'd be able to help seniors, we'd be able to help in the housing and development. All of those things were always very critical to me, so we were still able to do it. And so that was the merger that said, okay. And then I went a step further and said, okay, so let's restructure this company. So, this is not gonna sound good, but let's restructure it so that it's mine. Only because I knew if we did, we would have the space for us to be equals at the table. I've always known that it's already very tough for women in the trades. It is tough for women in this trade specifically. This is the one I know the most. And if it was going to work, I knew that we would have to be on even footing, because so many of the things that are interesting to me that made the difference for me had not a whole lot to do with plumbing itself. It had more to do with expanding this trade and bringing in women and doing things that were important to me for the reasons that they were important to me. And so that's where it all started. So there are barriers to becoming good at anything, whether you're going to be a basketball player or ballerina or doctor. I mean, barriers exist. Some of those barriers are unfair and biased, and some of them are not. Some of them are just barriers. So one of the barriers that was not necessarily unfair, but I had a lot to learn. I had to be very, very serious about it. I had to start my licensure process, but I also had to become as knowledgeable as I could, both in terms of what happened with the trade out on site, but also the business of plumbing, because it very much is, it's a huge industry that has only grown in years, but unfortunately is also shrinking in terms of new blood and new life coming into the trade. People stopped looking for trades, and it is absolutely an amazing way to further your life if it's for you. If it's for you, then it's good for you. If it's not, then don't waste your time, do other things. And so some of those barriers were absolutely warranted and fair. Some of those barriers are not. Like, I've been in rooms as the principal owner of my company and been absolutely dismissed. My thoughts on the project or what should happen with the trade, I'll say a thing and it would get met with, and my husband would say the same thing, and he was the best thing since sliced bread. It doesn't bother me so much, because I also come from basketball, and so I'm 6'5". You can tell I'm a tall woman. I'm 6'5", and I would, in my early basketball days, I'd show up at the park or at the court and not get picked. And so they go, we'll take you, and we'll take you, and we'll take this guy who's got on penny loafers and jeans. We'll take him before we take you. But it was only after I established myself as a real basketball player, then those same guys would see me getting out of the car and go, wait, we've got Monica. And I don't even have my shoes on yet. I've not even made it to the court. We got Monica first. And so some of that is just, we live, if you are a woman and you endeavor to do a thing that has typically not been open or accepting of women, you're probably gonna get met with some of that. And so my advice to women would be, notice it, don't be, keep your blinders off, notice it, but become the best at a thing that you can become. Because in so doing, I say to me first, I don't have anything to prove to you, but then I also say to you, I don't have anything to prove to you. I'm here to do this thing that I think I could be amazing at. And so some of those, like I said, some barriers, they're just real barriers. Go and learn the trade, learn as much as you can, learn the business. But some of those things are absolutely, biased, and you can, I tell people all the time, I don't necessarily want to change the world from the outside. I want to do this thing that I love doing. I want to be amazing at it, and I want to affect the lives that I touch every day. I feel better when a person, a woman or man, shares some time and space with me and they walk away feeling better for having done so. That matters to me. Changing the world is good too. That there are those that it's not my thing though. Okay. So my husband compliments me all the time with that. He'll say, basketball led you to that. And so I would say first, I'd say resiliency, because you are in the course of a game. It's certainly in the course of a career, but in the course of a game, you're gonna have highs and lows. You're gonna, you may be up 10 points. Don't get so excited. You may get down 10 points. Don't jump off the bridge. It's okay. You'll go up and you'll go down. That absolutely is what you will find when you are working in the housing market. There are, you can be ahead on a project and everything's going swimmingly, and then the budget may get cut. or the plans, they all change. Like, yeah, we said we wanted this and this and this. Yeah, read the change and the revisions. Now we want that and that and that. And you've got to be able to move with that and flow with that if you're going to be successful. So just resiliency. I have this thing that I say all the time: we're going to finish the game. Like, I have been in so many, I've played a bunch of years of basketball, and I've been blessed, and I've enjoyed championships at almost at every level. Like, I started winning championships in middle school and won all the way through with the Comets. So I know how to win a championship, but I also have cried myself to sleep at the end of a season because we took that L and went home with it, right? And it's a long summer when you got to sit with that last loss of your season before the season starts again. And so it's the same in the housing industry or in that plumbing industry. Like, we're going to get to the finish line. Sometimes the finish line is going to be, yay, we did it, look how amazing we are. And sometimes we're gonna crawl and scrape to the finish line, but we're going to finish. We are going to finish. We will hear the buzzer go off. And so sometimes, even with our team, we have an amazing team. Which also I take from sports, because you can have a great general manager and head coach and assistant coaches and trainers and all of the people and a star-studded lineup, and you can have all of those pieces, but if they don't work together and gel, you're still gonna go home at the end of the season with an L. And so you put the best team in place, you get the best people, and you trust everybody to run their lane. I was always a center. I was always a 5 player. So I was never a 1. I was never a point guard. I was always a 5. I knew what my job was. My job is to block shots and rebound and to score layups. That was my job. If we get in trouble and I got to bring the ball down the court, we are indeed in trouble. We are specifically in trouble. But if I know my job and I do it well, that helps my team, because we are all better if we feel all of those lanes and roles and everyone does what they're supposed to do. Same thing in plumbing. We all have jobs to do. And so it's my job first to do my job well, but to support those other lanes and groom and grow and help those to do their job. I'm only successful if you're successful. So within the housing sector and within plumbing, I think that gender diversity, the importance of that is, so I believe that we are all better off when there's a place at the table for all of us. Like, we're better off. Like, there are times when I'm on a job site and the thing dictates that the thing should be done like this. It should be done like this, it should be done like this. And for whatever reason, it's not working. Sometimes I bring, as an outsider, sometimes I bring to the table a fresh perspective that sometimes poo-pooed off, like, girl, you don't know. You're just a girl. And I'll go, maybe, but maybe not. And I, time and time again, will get to the end of it. And because I have great teammates, I have great people on my team, so they will come back and say, that's a great idea you had. We never would have done it that way. And that made sense. They are not, I don't ever get the sense that I'm being blocked out, back to basketball, that I'm being blocked out from my own team. Now, sometimes my ideas are just crazy and make no sense, but it sounded good in my head. And sometimes they do, and they'll say, that was absolutely a great idea. And so I believe the short answer to that is, all industries, we're all better if everybody gets a seat at the table and gets the chance to be heard, and I get to listen to what you bring to the table, like earnestly. I can seriously listen to what you're saying because you bring value. You've got something. So whether you're Cynthia Cooper on the comments team and you're scoring all the points, and it feels like I'm just out here to set yet another pick, at the end of the season, we both walk away with championship rings. We all win. And so when you are mature and you bring that sense of team and maturation to bear, you're able to honestly say, I don't care if I score all the points or if I block shots and set picks for Cynthia Cooper and Cheryl Smooth. It's okay because we all win. We win in the end. And I think that helps the whole pie to get baked, is what I think.
I am Krista Hardy, and I am with Houston Plumbing and Gas, and I play many roles, but the main is manager of all the office stuff, all the stuff that people don't get to see.
It is absolutely imperative to me to give away everything I have to whomever it would benefit, but especially with women. In this industry, with what we do, we are underrepresented. We are oftentimes not taken very seriously, and so that's critical for me. And so Krista is the first. So we've had some other contract people, but Krista is the first full-time woman in our company other than myself. And so she's able to get from me, as what they used to say, all the butter from the duck. And so it's important for me to give it away, to pass it on, but it is also important for me to empower as we do that. Like, I have no desire to make decisions for people. I want to, back to basketball, the best basketball coaches, and I've had some amazing basketball coaches, but the best basketball coaches that I had in my career were coaches who said, we need to accomplish this, get it done. They are not micromanagers, which I am not. Now, I may bug her all the day long. I may bug her all the day long, but I don't manage how she does a thing, because it goes back to drafting your team, pick the best person for the job, trust that they are intelligent enough to do their job, and let them do it. And so, that's the opposite of what you run into oftentimes, especially women. Everybody wants to tell us what to do, like as if we don't think. And so we have to be trained sometimes to trust that voice that we hear. Like, you hear your own voice, which was evident when she said, okay, so her title has changed so many times, and she asked a very fair question. So how do I introduce myself? And I turned my head and said, don't ask me, because I won't make those decisions for you. I am going to empower you the very best I can for you to be the very best you can, and then I've done my job. And I think I'm pretty consistent with doing that. I believe I am. I want you to go so much further than I've gone. I want you to do more. I want you to have more. I want you more than anything to be empowered with this amazing voice that you have. It's not my voice, it's your voice. And so I would say that that's a big part of my empowerment mission.
I would say so, yes. She's a big, telling you to do something, never done it before, I don't know, you figure it out. And it's kind of scary sometimes, because it's kind of like, okay, but she's like, get out there, make the decision, don't be scared, mess up, we'll fix it, don't worry about it. But she gives you that sense of, I got your back, I'm gonna teach you everything I know. Or she'll tell you, now you know everything I know, now figure this out. But it doesn't make you feel like you're being micromanaged. So it makes you feel, a little bit more confident, a little scared sometimes stepping out there, but she advocates a lot for me to be, no, make this decision, do that by yourself, and then I'll back you. So I would say it's a fair assessment.
So, as a leader in the housing industry, what steps do you take to mentor other women in your field? And Krista, I'm gonna ask you this. With all her experience and so many years in the NBA, women's NBA, how do you feel being under her, and what have you learned more so with your experience?
Being under her, wow, being under her it's great because she is so knowledgeable about so many things. She's lived so many different places and done so many different things in her life. So it's an honor sometimes to even learn from her and get all the things, because she isn't. I've worked in places where women don't like to share. They like to kind of keep it to themselves because they're scared, and she just isn't that type of mentor to help you. So to that I say no. She kind of pushes you to learn and be better, be your best self.
So I believe that the true test of having done a thing well, whether you lived your life well, you ran a company well, I think the true test is how the thing lives beyond you. So as parents, we want our kids to be amazing and do amazing things past me. As a company owner, I want when Felix and I walk away from Houston Plumbing and Gas, that it is strong, it is thriving. We have women represented. We have women not just who are face present, but who are critical to the mission that we are successful beyond ourselves. That is the legacy. And so thank you so much, because you've never said those nice things to me before. Thank you so much. But I know you enough to know that you are a sincere person, and you're not a yes lady. You're not a yes woman. And if you think it, you say it, even if it is in contradiction to what I think should be done. I absolutely cherish that, and it's our goal that this company lives on and is strong and thrives as its legacy. So we do lots of community development. So first I'll start with this project. Like, we are so proud and pleased to be a part of this City of Houston Section 3 Harris County mental health new apartment structure. So being a native Houstonian, I know Houston. I was raised in Houston's 3rd Ward. We still office there. Our office is at 288 in OST is where our shop and our office is. We know Houston. Though I've lived, all over, kind of bounced the globe a bit, I know my hometown. And so it has been interesting watching the growth and sometimes the setbacks and pitfalls of Houston life. And so it is huge to us to be able to partner on this kind of project, to be on a plumb. I say to my plumbers, all of my technicians laugh at me because I'll go, it's just plumbing. It's water going in, it's water going out. Sit down, let's talk about it, let's do it. And they go, easy for you to say, so we kind of rib each other. But in the sense that plumbing is very, very important, but it's just plumbing. It's who you do the plumbing for. It is like we are, if we weren't on this project, we'd be on another project, installing and underground and doing the things, right? We would be doing that regardless, because that's what our company does. But it means more when you are actually on a project that will make the difference in the lives of people, in the lives of Houstonians, in the lives of Harris County people. So that's important to us, that's critical. And then in addition to that, with our company, so we have a Moses Joseph project. And so Moses was my dad and Joseph was my husband's father. And so the biblical of Moses and Joseph. And so we do work for seniors at no cost. And so, there's a qualifying portion to it, but persons who qualify, just with some simple qualifications. You have to own your own home, because we have no interest in going in and replumbing a home for a landlord, or, so you have to own, so there are some qualifiers, and that's an absolute no cost that we provide in the community. And so again, being from Houston, there are certain projects that carry more weight for us. The copper is the same, the PVC is the same, the faucets and the toilets, that's all the same. But it is the project that makes a difference. And it's the governing body that contracts with us. So it is so cool to be a native Houstonian doing business in Houston, growing and thriving in Houston, and having the opportunity to work with the city. There are things that are absolutely amazing about doing projects with the city. There are some challenges and some headaches. It just is. And so what we get to do is continue to sharpen our knives and do what it is that's important to us, and we move forward with it. So we're big on community and community development. To that end, I said earlier that the trade is a multi-billion-dollar trade. That's just inside the state of Texas. Plumbing is, but it's also shrinking because we don't have enough women going into plumbing, getting licensed. We don't have enough Black and brown people learning the trade and getting licensed. We don't have enough of that. And so to that end, we've established a Department of Labor approved apprenticeship program. One of my favorite things that Felix ever said to me was that, and I was like, wow, you know a lot. And he said, and I won't take it to the grave. I won't die with it. I will give it away. I was like, boy, I'm gonna marry you. What's your middle name? That was one of the things that most endeared me to him, that I won't die with it. I will give it away. And we set in motion in place to get this whole Department of Labor approved program. We want to teach. It's a big part of us. We've been a partner now for 6 years. I think you recertify every 3 years, and so we're on our second certification. So I'd say 4 to 6 years. And when we started, we didn't get a lot of work, and we would bid, and then we wouldn't win the bid, and I'd go, okay, we'll try again, and I was going, and it takes a lot of manpower and time and resources to comb through bids and bid, and you've got to be healthy enough so that your company survives and you make a profit, but you've got to be skinny enough to win the bid. And so we found, our sweet spot in bidding those kinds of projects. And so when we discovered we were awarded this project through Block Companies, the general contractor, we were so excited. We were excited. And we've done other smaller things, but this is the first major, we'll call it a major, though it's not a huge apartment complex, it's going to make a huge impact in the lives and in this community. So we get to bid on bid packages for opportunities for us to go to work. So as a plumbing company, that is what we do. We go to work. And so we get to do that. We also get to, because typically Section 3 is going to do the kinds of projects that are going to warm our hearts a little bit. Sure, copper is copper, PVC is PVC, plumbing is plumbing, but we get to work on projects that we care about. We get to do those things. We get to, additionally, we get to interview and serve as an entree for persons who are individually certified or qualified as Section 3, who get to learn a trade or pick up a job, or maybe have a job and they're interested in more of a trade, and so make a transfer over. We get to do that. So we get to warm up to really helping, all under the same umbrella of doing what we wake up every day to do, to plumb and go to work. And we get to partner with an organization whose mission is same but different.